Yes, people, welcome to the Rise and Shine show. No intro today. We have to be quick. No time for messing around. A lot of news to cover today, as usual, for the morning show. Usually before 12 o'clock. Hope everyone is doing well. Great news from Man United yesterday. Some fantastic news came out about the stadium. We had some time to sort of think about it, look at all the quotes, look at all the data, and overall, I'm pretty happy. 100,000-seater stadium. That is massive, going to be the biggest in the country. And you can't argue that, can you? You can't really argue that. Just going to go through a few bits of news, bits and bobs today. It's be a very quick show today. But before I do, I want to say big up to Matty Bassett. Hope you're doing well, Matty. Lovely to see you. Matty, how did you get on the weekend? I don't know. I didn't ask you. How did you get on last weekend? Where are you in the league for your Sunday team as well? I really want to know because ups and downs of Sunday football, and the pitches are getting better now. The sun is coming out, so it's a great time to be playing football. Especially, you won 2-0, says Matty. Well done, well done. Love to see that. Matty, one day we've got to get together and have a game somewhere down in between. We can meet halfway. All right, let's go on with the news, Matty. Let's see what's the world of media is saying. Obviously, it's all about the stadium. Third with 3 games in hand. So if you win those games in hand, that's 9 points. We go top. I'm going to keep tabs. Guys, keep tabs on Matty's team. Give us the name of the team in the comments, please, Matty. All right, let's get on with this show. We've got some news that Manchester United have proposed Rasmus Højlund to Napoli as part of the deal for Osimhen. Because obviously Osimhen's still on the books of Napoli. He's not wanted there. So it's a case of doing a swap deal, a bit of money to get Osimhen in. Osimhen, I think, is 27 years old now. He's playing with Galatasaray team we might have to face in the Europa League. And pretty good player. I don't know, his stock's sort of gone down recently since he's left Napoli, but he was Napoli's main kingpin striker for a period of time. Nigerian international, tall, strong, really hard to manage, and for any defender, and scores a variety of goals as well, especially with his head. So he's a proper player. Don't know how you feel about it. I've still got doubts about him. But as Matty says here, Højlund to Napoli makes sense. Turns out, believe it or not, that on Antonio Conte, the manager of Napoli, he likes Højlund a lot because I think he likes players that work hard. And there's no doubt in that. Whatever we say about Højlund, he does work his socks off. No doubt about it. It makes sense. No doubt about it. I hear what you're saying there. So let's see what happens with that. Obviously, when it comes to transfers for Man United right now, I mean, we're in a bad position. We don't have much money. So maybe I'd be more encouraged to talk about development of players and seeing how the players develop, because that's the route we really have to go down now to try to sort of bring players through the side. All these big money transfers, I think, is going to be on the back burner because we have to focus on the stadium and the finances that cost with that. I'll take Osimhen, but need a backup for AFCON, of course. That comes around. And don't forget, Jamie Carragher, AFCON is a major competition. And the only unfortunate thing for us is that it happens during the European season. So that does, as Matty's saying there, does have an effect on your club side. We've seen with Salah and Mane a couple of years ago when they left to go leave Liverpool. All right, let's see what else I've got here. Omar Barada says Man United are aiming to move into the new stadium in the 2030-31 season. So what are we now, 24, 25? Yeah, 5-6 years, give or take. I think it would be great. I mean, we all want to go there for a game. I mean, ticket prices will be, by then, they're going to be a lot of money. But what a day out to go to this new stadium and watch your football team. Not this football team they're playing at the moment, but hopefully by then we have a better football team to play with. The Stretford End, let's just go through this. The Stretford End in New Old Trafford Stadium will have a capacity of 23,500 seats, and that's 12,000 lower, and 12,000 on the lower tier and 11,000 in the upper tier. So there'll be 2 tiers in the Stretford End in the new stadium. There'll be 23,000 in total, 12,000 on the lower and 11,000 on the top tier as well. So if you're interested, Carragher's a moron for disregarding AFCON, says Matty Bassett. AFCON is a fantastic tournament. Yeah, I kind of see what Carragher was trying to say, but it came out wrong. You have to be very sensitive when you're talking about things like that. AFCON, you need to raise their profile, and rather than them sort of say something kind of negative, you've got to try and lift them up, because there's so many great players coming from that tournament, and it's different, isn't it? The South American tournament's different to the Asian tournament, to the European tournament, to the African tournament. They've all got their own way of playing, their style of playing, and we have to. It's all a game of football, so we have to back them and support them. I must admit, a few years ago, I didn't think it was organised very well, but they're starting to get their act together, and we have to back it. We have to back the African nations. I mean, there's a couple of years ago when I think Mane won it, and he was in contention because winning the tournament for Ballon d'Or, wasn't he? The same as Salah. So if Salah does want to win the Ballon d'Or, if any African player wants to win Ballon d'Or, obviously they have to do well in the club side, but they have to. If no African player team has ever won the World Cup, so ideally, if you win AFCON on top of that, then you definitely put yourself in contention according to the rules of picking a Ballon d'Or winner. Okay, Victor Gyökeres is not expected to join Manchester United this summer. He wants to play Champions League football next season, according to a source here, Ebola. So obviously we've been linked with this guy. He's been the main striker for Sporting. It's clear that our guy Amarin likes him. He's very effective. But will he do it in the Premiership? And what he's saying here, he wants to play Champions League football. That'd be interesting to see what happens with him. Will he move this year? Will he leave Sporting? And who's going to pick him up? It'd be interesting to see what club he goes to. But doesn't look like we're going to get him unless something shocking comes, because the sort of money they're asking for, Matty, is a lot of money, isn't it, for someone like Victor? Based on what he's done in Portugal, not based on what he's done prior to that. Because prior to that, he was at Brighton, couldn't get sniff, and he was at Coventry as well and couldn't get in. Scoring goals, but that was in the Championship, obviously. So that'd be interesting to see what happens with that. No more news here about internationals. Coming up to international weeks. Patrick Dorgu, Christian Eriksen, and Haaland have all been called up to the Denmark squad for the up-and-coming fixtures. So hopefully they stay injury-free. They're all three important players. I mean, Dorgu's just come in. He's gives us that balance with the left foot at wing back. We've got Christian Eriksen, who always can control the game, come on and have that experience to control the game and keep the tempo, dictate the tempo. And then Rasmus as well. I think, and as much as we disrespect him and sort of are disappointed, I'm disappointed with him, I still think he's going to have a moment this year where he's going to do something, and we just go, oh, thank God, So let's see how they get on in international duty, and obviously there'll be other players going on international duty, but for now, that's that. Gyökeres can handle the Premier League, says Matty. Yep, true. No evidence yet, but with his attributes, you see, Matty, I'm sure. Yeah, I do kind of agree with you. Big up to Mr. B. Hope you're doing well, Mr. B. Lovely to see you. I don't know if you noticed the background. I seem like I'm on COP TV for some reason, but I'm sure we can. They can forgive us for that. Yes, Mr. B. Hope you're having a good day at work, and we need a thumbnail if you don't mind. Jale saying here, you're very early. I've not been able to make a sandwich yet. What about some cereal or some porridge? It's that early, isn't it? It's only 10:46. So we're just doing a few bits of news here. Next one is Raphael Varane. Remember him? Mr. Injury prone, sick note. No, he was a good player, wasn't he? Came for Real Madrid, a bit like Casemiro, but kind of feel that we got a bit of a raw deal with those two players because they were kind of on the way out. And obviously, Varane had a few injury issues. I don't know if he was that good for us. It was decent. I'll give him that. But Raphael Varane waited for Old Trafford to empty out and decided to take a seat in the centre circle to take it all in. So this is from ESPN. So it means a lot to him. It means a lot to him to play for Man United. He's played for Real Madrid, to play for Man United, two great big clubs. So he's had a decent career. And unfortunately, you know what happened with him. I think he went to Como and just broke down again. And he's retired from football at kind of young age. But he's packed in so much in his career. So Raphael Varane, we salute you and thank you for the respect that you showed to Old Trafford. Some other news here, which you guys are going to react to, I'm sure. It's about Paul Pogba. Now, officially, Paul Pogba had a ban recently and he was out of football. Well, apparently the ban has now officially ended. So Paul Pogba is a free agent again. And now I know we did discuss this recently, and he's kind of he's kind of tarnished since he had the ban, and people are saying, oh no one's really going to touch him, but he's a quality player. We have to agree he's a quality player, and if he gets himself fit, I'm sure he'd do a great job for somebody. But who is that somebody? Would he come back for the third time or the second time to Man United? Well, he came here originally from France. That's once. He left. He came back from Juventus for 100 million or whatever it was. So that's 2 times. Will he come back for a third time to Man United and help us out towards the end of the season? Look, I don't want to get into that. I'll just put it out there. Paul Pogba, it's a bit controversial. I know how the fan base feel about him. It's like Marmite. You either love him or you hate him. And he's really sort of not done himself no good with the ban. That's really, disappointing for him. But he's back now, so he can officially start playing football again. I'll be interested to see what sort of level he plays at and who's going to want him. And just want to say this. Salute to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes, here's his record here for Man United. He's had 275 appearances. And he's rarely injured, did he? He's had a ban for red cards. Can't recall him being injured too often. But in those 275 games, he scored 91 goals and has 79 assists. So that's almost 1 in 3, a goal. And if you're talking about goals and assists, it's almost, it's 90 plus 7. That's like a goal and assist every game, every 2 games, a goal or assist. It's really impressive. Now, no matter what you say about Bruno Fernandes, he has got the numbers. And he's not just saying he's a stat man, but you see what he does on the pitch. He works his socks off. He's a proper player, as we saw with the free kick the other day. 275 appearances, 91 goals, 79 assists. That's, you know what? Round of applause for Bruno. That is absolutely brilliant, When you look at players around, you've got Kevin De Bruyne, people in that mould. You've got Kevin De Bruyne, you've got like James Maddison, you've got Odegaard, all these sort of attacking midfielders. I doubt any of them have got numbers like that. And there is a stat that coming out. Since Bruno played in the Premiership, the only players that had more goals and assists to him is Salah and Son. So that's really impressive. Well done, Bruno Fernandes. Talking about transfer news as well. Everyone knows, there's been rumours about this guy. This guy from Atalanta. We're going to raid their market again. Ederson, Brazilian midfielder. Apparently, we're leading the race to sign him and have communicated a desire to make an offer. The offer is going to be about £60 million. Or 60 million euros and 50 million pound. There's another one, a midfielder. Is that the most important position that we need? Who knows? But Ederson, I need to have a closer look at him. I'm not sure about him. I don't know how you guys feel. I don't know much about him, to be fair. But there you go. There's news about Ederson. Now, let's go on to the main news. This is news that I want to talk about. As you know, I love Harry Maguire. And there's some news here coming from a source called Bath Time News. Bath Time put this in the chat today, saying a 2-year Maguire deal is being rumoured today. Maguire has also activated an automatic extension, pushing back the deadline until 2026. So not the end of this season, the end of next season. He admitted that the Portuguese manager played a significant role in the decision to exercise his renewal option. But according to sources close to Stretty News, Man United are now keen to further extend Maguire's deal until 2027, which makes sense because he is kind of important. The Reds are expected to part ways with Lindelof and Johnny Evans, whose contracts will expire at the end of this season. But they want to secure the services of the England international for another 2 years. There you go. Harry Maguire, his contract currently had an extension. It currently runs out at the end of 2026, so the end of next season. But Man United are talking now about extending it until 2027. When you consider, look, he's still at a good age. It's not a huge, big contract, long contract for someone that age. It makes sense. He is important, as we've seen this season. No one's stating that he's going to be the main man. Who knows what's going to happen? We've got Heaven, we've got Yoro, we've got De Ligt as well, and Martinez. But you throw in Maguire in the mix as well. That makes us kind of secure, especially with Johnny Evans and Lindelof likely to leave this season. Sydney, how you doing? Nice to see you nice. And that's kind of a smart move to secure Harry Maguire, who's done really well at the club. PSG broke my heart last night, but we will equal Man United's number of titles in May, so it's not all that bad. Congratulations. That was a really good game of football. And unfortunately for Liverpool, they went out on penalties. But I think overall, PSG were the best side. They impressed me. They impressed me. The best side in England against the best side in France, and over 2 legs. I think PSG, sorry, deserved to go through. Unfortunately for you. All right. Yes, that's all from me. A little 15-minute show. Make sure you share it. Before we go, the same news source didn't also say that they would give Dalot a new contract. Dalot got a contract until 28, and he got a new contract last year. So that is false news according to Jale. Okay, maybe. Let's look into that. But I'm saying it makes sense. That's my point. I think it really makes sense to sort of sign Harry Maguire for another long-term, another year at least. You know, it might be on lesser wage as well. And let's see what he thinks about that. Whether he decides to sign. With the new manager, with England, does he want to sort of still continue to play for England? And you know, when you look around the market, is there many great England centre backs that can get ahead of him? You got John Stones, you got the guy from Palace. Beyond that, Tomori maybe, Tyrone Mings. There's not many. There's an opportunity there for Maguire. So if you're Maguire and you want to think about your future, playing for Man United at the moment, he's almost a first teamer. If he signs another contract and continues to play with Man United, there's a chance as a first teamer. His chance he would get back into the England setup. Who knows? We don't know how Tuchel feels about him, but I think there's an opportunity there, and he's got to be considering that as well. PSG were the better of the two. Fair play, respect to you, Sydney. I found you're from TikTok. I'll share the YouTube page with all my sports crazy people. Thank you so much, Sydney. Enough respect to you. Yeah, you found I'm on TikTok. Yeah, give me a follow if you don't mind. I'm all for giving Maguire another contract. He's important to have with the young centre backs we've got. Great point there, Giles. Yeah, it's not a long contract. It's only till 2027. His currently deal runs out in 2026, so it's just an extension of that, which I think is fair for what he's put in. And finally, Maguire signing a new contract is a good thing for United. He's a good player. Thank you. We certainly think so. We've had a roller coaster ride with him. He's made a lot of mistakes in the past, on the pitch and off the pitch. There was an issue in Greece, was it, or Turkey? But he's come back. He showed he's got thick skin, and he's performed really well. And I think you have to give him a new contract based on his performance alone and his leadership and his mental fortitude. The guy's really solid, and I'm consistent. I know I'm a bit stubborn sometimes, but I'm consistently saying what a good player he is. So well done, Harry Maguire. If it does go through, well, Jale said it might not, it might just be rumours, but I think that's the right thing to do. But anyway, guys, don't forget to tune in later tonight. I know there's Champions League football on, as there was yesterday, so maybe we'll be going about 10:30, depending on how the games go. Set your notifications and tune in tonight to the Man United agenda. We will be back, but for now, I'm signing out without any outro or music or anything like that. I'm just going to say adios, or in the words of Dora, lack a notch. Good night.